Alright, so here we want to find the limit as h approaches 0 of this function here. We've got e to the 7h power minus 1 plus 7h all divided by h squared. Alright, so the first thing you're probably going to do is just plug in a 0, right? So we're going to plug in a 0 into that h, into there, and what do we end up with, right? We get e to the 0 power minus 1 all over 0. So e to the 0 power is just 1, right? So we get 1 minus 1, which is 0 over 0. Okay, so this is an indeterminate form, which does allow us to use L'Hopital's rule, right? So then what we want to do is we want to take the derivative of the numerator, right? And then we want to divide that by the derivative of the denominator. Okay. Now remember, we are still taking the limit as h approaches 0. But what is the derivative of the numerator here? So the derivative of e to the 7h is 7 times e to the 7h power. Remember, the derivative of a constant, or just 1, is 0. And the derivative of 7h is 7, but there's a minus sign in front. Right? So we're going to make sure we put that minus 7. And then on the denominator, we get the derivative of h squared, which is 2h. Okay? So we used L'Hopital's rule once. So now we should just plug in 0 again, right? So we'll plug in a 0 here, we'll plug in a 0 here, and see what we get one more time, okay? Now remember, when you plug in a 0, we get e to the 0 power minus 7 all over 0. Okay, so remember, e to the 0 power is just 1, so 7 minus 7 is 0, and we get 0, 0. Once again, another indeterminate form, which means that we should take the L'Hopital's rule again. And hopefully this will be the last time. So then what's the derivative of 7 times e to the 7h power? Okay, so we just essentially just bring down the 7 again, right? So 7 times 7 gives us 49, e to the 7h power. The derivative of 7, or a constant, is just 0. And then on the denominator, we get the derivative of 2h, which is just 2. Okay, so we'll plug in the 0 again, because remember, we were just finding limits, right? So lastly now, okay, I think this will turn out okay. What happens when we plug in a 0? We get 49 e to the 0 power over 2. And e to the 0 power is just 1, so then we get our final answer here, right? So the limit is going to be 49 divided by 2.